Getting around a big city like Vancouver is getting much more expensive these days, from fuel prices to insurance to road taxes to paying $12 an hour just for a parking spot. But Honda has a low budget solution for us in the form of the 2023 Honda Grom. So what's this bike like to ride in a big city? Well, let's go for a ride and find out. So the Honda Grom has a little one-cylinder engine. It's 124 cc's in size. It is air-cooled and fuel-injected. Power is 9.7 horsepower and 7.7 pound-feet of torque. Definitely not a lot. And all of this power and torque is right up at the top end of the rev range. Anything below about 4,000-ish RPMs and there really isn't any power at all. You can be full throttle and the bike just isn't going to go anywhere. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, well, that really depends on how much you weigh and how much air resistance there is. I weigh approximately 190 pounds and the bike with me on it can do just over 100 kilometers an hour. That's about 62 miles an hour. Maybe if I was going downhill and I had a little bit of a tailwind, it can probably hit 110 kilometers an hour. But at least it's enough to get you onto highways. One of the best things about this engine is its fuel economy. Currently I am averaging just 1.6 liters per 100 kilometers. And also this new generation of the Grom has a slightly bigger gas tank. It's now 6 liters in size. Another change to the Grom is the transmission. It is now a 5-speed manual instead of a 4-speed manual. The shifter is really smooth and it has a nice satisfying click to it every time that you put it into the next gear or drop it down a gear. The clutch is really light. It is so light that you can pull onto it with just one finger, with your index finger. My only small complaint about the clutch is that the bite point is right at the top of the lever release. But at least you can adjust it a little bit so you can change that bite point to be a little bit more in the middle of the clutch lever actuation. Because of the new 5-speed transmission, the first few gears are now shorter, which does improve acceleration. But when you're setting off from a stop, you're pretty much on the red line in first and in second gear. Or when you're going up a hill like how I am right now. That was all the way up to the red line, and now I'm in third gear. The 2023 Grom has a 220mm front disc with a 2-piston caliper and a 190mm rear disc with a single piston caliper. This demo bike is the ABS version, but the system only works on the front wheel as indicated by this little sticker on the tank. The braking force required to bring the bike to a stop was a little bit more than I expected. Perhaps it is because I am used to the strong brakes on my personal BMW S1000RR, or also because this bike had literally no mileage on it when I picked it up, so the brakes had not been properly seated yet. But as time goes on and the brakes get worn in, they should provide a bit more bite. With the Honda Grom ABS tipping the scales at just 231 pounds, it is a very agile bike. It can dart through the tightest alleyways and zip through traffic. That is, if you live in a part of the world where lane filtering is legal. Here in Vancouver, it is not. Riding through corners on a bike that weighs almost as much as you do is a joy. It doesn't try to act like a bigger bike, and instead, it just puts a huge smile on your face. At higher speeds, the bike is stable and smooth, so you can commute with it on highways. Now, at 6'4", I realize that I probably look like Lloyd or Harry from Dumb and Dumber on this bike, but it's actually pretty comfortable even for someone of my height. The seat is 30 inches off the ground, so even shorter people can flat-foot it, and the pegs are not that high up, so my legs actually feel pretty comfortable. The bodywork in the tank has been reshaped just a little bit, so there's these curves right here where my knees fit just fine. And the handlebars keep my elbows at almost 90 degrees. So overall, it's actually a pretty comfortable bike. Plus, look at all this suspension travel. Really good for going over poorly maintained city streets. In case you're wondering, those are 31mm inverted forks with 4.3 inches of travel and a single shock in the back with 4.1 inches of travel. As well, the Grom has rear foot pegs, so you can take a passenger with you. Just bear in mind that the weight capacity of the bike is around 350 pounds. The standard 2023 Honda Grom starts at $3,949 Canadian. This ABS version will cost you an additional $200 at just $4,149 Canadian. At that price, the Grom doesn't come equipped like a Goldwing. It has a digital display with a digital RPM gauge, trip computer, fuel gauge, and gear indicator. There's also a little upshift light, but it's actually quite difficult to see it in direct sunlight. Other than that, it just has basic government-mandated features such as mirrors and fenders. The warranty is 1 year with unlimited mileage within that year. You can opt for extended warranty, which starts at $188 Canadian for 1 additional year and can go up to $498 Canadian for up to 4 years. So overall, I actually enjoyed this bike a lot more than I thought I would. When I first went to pick it up, I thought it was just way too small for someone of my height. But after riding it for a few days, I could not get the big smile off of my face. It doesn't try and take itself too seriously, and whether you're a more experienced rider and you have a 1-liter bike like myself, or if you're a brand new beginner, this bike is just a lot of fun and super easy to ride. Plus, on top of all that, it doesn't cost that much. It costs next to nothing to maintain it and to run it. It's easy to park. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space. It's easy to maneuver. It's just the perfect city commuter bike. If you want to know more about this 2023 Honda Grom, I wrote a more detailed review of it over on my website. You can find that link in the video description or click on the pop-up banner right up there. And as always, I will see you in the next car or truck or motorcycle, or most likely it'll probably be an SUV next time. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.